Episode 7. This is the big one. So we're going to open basically in the Night of Terror. The plan is Gyun and Inho and everyone are going to hide under their bunks, allow the O's to come over to the X side and just murder all the weak people. I've just completely checked out on Gyun and his hero complex that he has. The idea that if he or somebody around him purposefully takes another human being's life, they are no better than the individuals running the games. Whereas the individuals running the games are essentially doing the exact same thing that the lottery system does in the United States of America. It's allowing you to take the extra $50 you could be spending. And I know you're going to tell me in the comments, you can't spend $50 and get health care. I agree with you. You could have done it once with Obamacare. You can't do it now. I understand. But you could have done it once. We as a nation decided we didn't want that. So $50 health care is a thing of the past. It could have happened. It could have bankrupted the nation. They print money, man. Like, you can't bankrupt the nation. It's just going to... This is all economics. Anyway, the main kicker and send-off is the fact that if you play the lottery religiously, like people, members of my own family do, you could have retired at the age of 60 with the thousands, tens of thousands of dollars you've spent on the lottery over your lifespan. And yeah, maybe it would be a small retirement. Maybe it wouldn't help you out too much. But if you take $50 a month and you multiply that's $600 a year, you know, over the span of 40 years, man, that's $24,000. That's, going to pay down your mortgage a little bit. It's going to help you get into a mortgage, perhaps, because most people don't even have the money for that down payment. So it's rough. Anyway, that's what these people are doing. And so Guillaume thinks that they're evil, and it's the concept that they're not evil. Yeah, they're preying on people. But dude, after that first vote, when the people decide to stay and let the greed lead their life, well, I mean, you're angry at them for giving these individuals the opportunity to kill each other for money. That's essentially it. Don't be angry at them. In fact, all they're doing is raising up a mirror and saying, look at yourself, humanity. Are you willing to do that for money? Like, what are you mad about? That they're paying so much money? That you made so much money? I don't see him giving away all of his money to these people in the subway. I don't see him setting up in the subway, literally, and giving them, 1,000 won for just coming by and saying hi. And every day, he could do that. He could just give people, $100 a day. Here, $100. Here, $100. Here, $100. And it's not going to make a big difference in a majority of people's lives. Somebody gave me $100. I make a some dude the other night at the New Year's Eve party gave me $20. Hey man, I've missed a few Christmases. Here you go, $20. That meant a lot to me. I don't make that much money. I don't have a lot of money. I'm in law school. I get disability. It's not a glamorous life. $20 is 10% of my monthly spending on myself, and that made a difference. It was very touching. It was very, very sweet. Thanks, man. That was very cool of you. But I digress. Guillaume's not doing that. He is cold in his approach to finding them. But I'm getting tired of his mightier than thou speech, and he's the hero. I know. I turned to my wife at a certain point and I say, the only way this series can buy me back right now is if Guillaume lost. If he lost and he was gone, that would buy me back, because I don't like him anymore. I know that sounds crazy, but hey, this is my channel. I'm going to say it. I don't like him because in season 1, he realized how brutal it was. And he was in it. There was no getting off the train. And in season 2, I was expecting him to get back on the train. Or even, I was expecting him to be one of the people up there in the room betting on it. And manipulating the game from on high to attempt to get everyone to survive. but he didn't. He's playing the game, and I'm sorry, I'm salty. I'm still where he's covering his mouth and moving his head like this. He should have died. Like, you've established in season 1 this world is uncaring and it is brutal. And in season 2, there's this one scene where they run into the rooms, and Inho gets into the room with the other individual, and there's a third guy in the room and he won't leave. And Inho kills him. And then whenever they check the rooms, oh, there's just 2 in there and a dead body. And I was like, that is the kind of technicality that would get you killed in season 1. This feels like someone else, and of course someone else is running the game, and it's because it's Frontman theoretically running the game, but if anything, it's become softer. It's become less bloodthirsty. And that's problematic to me, because the entire point of this game is to hold the mirror up to society and say this is what capitalism without any sort of bridle does. This is what unbridled greed will do to humanity. And season 2 is just saying, yeah, this is bad, but you know what? You can always take a gun and fight back. And it's like, man, Luigi is about to prove to the nation that doesn't work well. That's going to be a very interesting case to watch, but taking a gun and fighting back, not the best thing, I don't think. I don't know. So we have the penultimate, the finale, which is after the Night of Terror. The guards come in, and Gyun has his special forces team he has assembled attack a guard, take the gun, kill the other guards, take back a lot of guns, and then it just becomes a full-on firefight. And again, it is, I mean, yeah, they have this issue where they're running out of ammunition, and the guards are, they have more ammunition, but it's like guards are dropping like flies, and these guys keep going. Like, sure, they lose some people, but they don't lose too many. And it is shocking how far they get. They capture one of the managers, and he gets shot, and he tells them how to access the managerial section with the mask, and it's just, I mean, it's lost me, because these okay, they may have had military training. Everyone in South Korea may very well be a military mastermind. I don't know. I don't live there. I'm not military. I'm blind, man. This is all beyond me, okay? But statistically speaking, you throw, I guess, 5 Navy SEALs up against an army of goons in pink jumpsuits with automatic weapons. Just the statistic amount of bullets. The deadliest FBI shootout in federal history. 140 shots were fired. 4 people lost their lives that day. 4. 140 bullets. 4 people passed away. Okay? And that was the deadliest shootout in FBI history. The other night, a guy drove his truck down Bourbon Street. Horrific. Killed 14 people. And then himself was killed in a shootout with the police. Terrible. But it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I think that the people who took up the firearms and are fighting against the guards who theoretically have as much training, if not more, and there are more guards than there are people, and this is the guards' home turf, and these people have never even been here. And these people almost win. They don't win, because Inho shows up and, betrays his side and kills the guys, and then ends up killing Gyun's second in command. But that second in command he voted to die. He voted to stay. See, after the first vote, adding this voting element upsets me, because the reason I really like the first season is they voted to go home. Then they all came back and they finished competing, but they didn't get the money. when they left the first time. I thought the money went to the family of the deceased, but then they came back to play and they got the full pot. It was, I don't understand what happened there. But in season 2, they could have left. And the only thing keeping them there was greed. And as Thanos said multiple times, the O gang. But it felt like the people who died, it was cheap. And it was predictable. And it was supposed to be cheap. You were supposed to get to know these individuals and then they die. And you're like, oh, that was unforeseen or that was crazy. But they voted to stay there. They voted to die. And then they died. Am I supposed to feel bad for them for this? I don't understand. This is, sort of like bemoaning Stonewall Jackson's plight in life. Yeah, you wanted to betray America and fight for the Confederacy, but I think he really does deserve. No, does it? No, nah, no, 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 not for that guy. So I don't know. The series really didn't it didn't end too well for me. It was a Halo 2 cliffhanger of an ending. It ends with basically Guillaume getting told you're going to play the games. It ends with no one has found out yet, but Junho is on the boat with the captain, and I've been saying all along, this captain's way too fishy. Yeah, it turns out the captain's working for him, and so he kills the drone guy, and it's bad stuff over there. So we're gonna see how season 3 pans out. I've got some thoughts on this. I'll talk about it more, but it felt like it lost something, and that's okay. But season 1 felt like the original Halo. Combat evolved. Season 1 was this. This is what horror can be on Netflix. Season 2 was this is what horror can be. If we want to be really careful and make sure we don't offend anybody and just play it safe because we need, 84% of the population to really like this. Problem is, guys, the people really liked it because it was different and you weren't afraid to offend people, and everybody really liked it. The people who didn't like it didn't like it. But do you remember episode 2 of season 1 when they're licking the candy trays and the guards are going around and blowing people's brains off, and then your contestants are getting brain matter and bits of bone blown on them, and they still have this candy dish that they have to get through? This season did not have anything like that. It just didn't. It felt like they really toned down the violence somehow, and yet they didn't. Plenty of people die. More people die all over the place. But it felt different, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what could have caused that, and sadly, it wasn't as entertaining to me to watch. And that's just the way it goes, I guess, sometimes with these shows. So, season 2, I watched it all. I will come back with thoughts and opinions. I can pretty well tell you how the series is going to end. I don't think they're going to go out on any branches. They're not going to take any chances. They are not going to try to do anything as bold and flavorful and cynical as season 1. But that's life, Life as a guy gets convicted of multiple felonies and still becomes president. And you're sitting there going, I took constitutional law in my first year of law school. He's going to pardon himself, isn't he? Everybody's, who can't pardon himself? Yeah, that's never been challenged by another branch of the government, and I don't think they would. The legislator and the judicial would not challenge the executive branch's powers. In fact, it's right there in the Constitution. They need to keep their noses out of it. Period. So, yeah, he could pardon himself. Should he? No. Is he going to? Yeah, probably. He's going to wait till the last day. But he's going to do it. And that's life. And it's bitter. I'm not happy about it. But I'm just a guy watching TV. Okay, sorry, this was a downer. Believe me, that's the way I felt watching the last episode. I was like, oh, I have to wait for the next season to see how it all concludes. And it's not even giving me what I wanted, which I showed up for children's games that inevitably end in people dying horribly. And what I got was weird social commentary and not much else. Thank you guys. It's great to be seen. Good to see you again. Have a wonderful day. I will see y'all next time. And until then, bye y'all.